Welcome to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan, where we're going to cast and blast you right out of this world with some of the best hunting and fishing stories that you can't even imagine.
Welcome to Fish Talk Radio. This is John Hennigan in studio, and we also have our host, Frank Selby, on Fish Hunt Talk Radio. And I'm all excited, Frank.
Yeah, I guess I would be too if I was headed to Cabo this coming week.
Well, actually, it's the week after, but I haven't been down there for a while, and I'm excited. They've had a lot of weather.
Well, the last time I was down there, it was with you.
Well, it was 2 years ago.
We had a ball.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But, no, we did. Anyway, the weather is clearing up, so we should be timing it just about right. The water's warm. There's been a lot of tuna, blue marlin, and, the thing I said is that those darn fish have fins and tails, so where they were yesterday, it doesn't tell you where they're going to be tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Yeah. And we've got a trip booked with Jim on a very, very high-end yacht, a 32-foot Lures, and it is deluxe, super deluxe. So I'm going to take Jenny, and she's an elderly lady, so she'll be probably sitting on the couch inside, and we'll just run a line through her toes and put it in the water so she can catch a marlin.
She'll be out fishing, you know that.
Well, it's happened before.
Yeah, I know it has. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you, John. We had 6 people in from Canada raving about our show, and they've been telling their friends up there.
Oh, are they listening to it on the Sirius XM?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I guess there is somebody out there.
Yeah, we're getting farther and farther away.
Yep. Well, we appreciate it, and we'd especially appreciate it if people drop us a line once in a while. Let me know if we can do anything for us, and let us know where they're listening from.
Yeah, and, I did tell them to send you an email, and if there was something they wanted to hear about up in that area or wherever, they should email us.
Yeah, and I got a bunch of
on the show.
I got a bunch of tackle in my treasure chest, so anybody that wants to contact, I'll take care of them. All righty. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We can come right back with Chris Pisalos, who's in charge of Fishing Line with Berkley. Some exciting stuff.
A few years ago, a sailor set out to design a boat shoe that was comfortable and stable, non-skid, and wouldn't mark the decks. Today, these incredibly comfortable shoes are worn by anglers, boaters, professional guides, and charter captains. Go to SoftScience.com to see more. Soft Science shoes and boots are lightweight and shock absorbent with just the right level of support. Several styles come in all sizes. Enjoy the Soft Science shoe in the water and out. Check them out at SoftScience.com.
It's time for you to take a real fun adventure. Join a hosted fishing adventure to Alaska or Baja with the staff of Fish Talk Radio. Real Fun Adventures can book you on any adventure you desire. Bring your fishing friends or meet new ones. Fish Talk Radio gets the best deals from our sponsors to give you the best possible price. Real Fun trips are inclusive, easy, no-worry packages to the most popular fish grounds. Trips start around $600. Go to REELfunadventures.com.
If you are still using a plastic hard-shell cooler, things have changed for the better. AO coolers are lighter with twice the efficiency of the traditional bulky coolers. AO coolers are the best available soft-sided cooler with 3/4-inch high-density closed-cell foam insulation. They will keep ice frozen for 24 hours in hot weather. Easy to carry, less space, it fits product inside for better performance. Go to AOcoolers.com to order or find a retailer. Available at West Marine.
With a long pedigree, the Snow Bee brand today offers the very best equipment modern technology can provide. Started in Europe, Snow Bee is now providing quality fly fishing gear in the USA. Waders, clothing, rods, reels, fly lines, bags, and innovative new accessories. Enjoy your sport and leisure time more than ever. The affordable value of Snow Bee makes it available to everyone. Go to snowbee-usa.com.
Catch them shallow, I can catch them deep. Open water or the back of the creek. The wind and rain to me, it's all
welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan, and of course our host Frank Selby is on with us, and Chris Pisalos. Why did you say it, Chris?
That's close enough, John.
Okay. Pistilos, right? Anyway.
Yep,
Pitsillas. All right. Now, Chris works for a company that's, I guess you'd call it an umbrella company, which is
Correct.
Berkley. And Berkley is probably owned by somebody bigger, but Berkley owns, probably more than half of the fishing industry. They've got...
Well, we'd like to think so.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Can you name... Well, just in rods, how many rods companies do you have?
Oh, in rods?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got Penn, we got Abu Garcia, we got All-Star, we got Berkley, our own Berkley. We got Fenwick. There's probably a couple more in there.
Well, what did I say? I mean, if you buy something, there's a good chance you didn't know it, but you're buying it from Berkley. And then what you do, of course, is the line. And you are... what does it say on your card? I know that you basically create the different types of fishing line, which we'll go into, but what does your card say as your title?
Correct. My title would be Associate for Fishing Line. So I would handle the day-to-day business, the brand side of it. So Berkley, Spiderwire, Stren, there you go. There's two more brands I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So my job is to, handle any fires, handle new product development, handle customer presentation, handle communication to sales. I'm kind of the axle of the wheel.
Well,
everybody comes.
Berkley owns a lot of companies, but they're all quality, high-end companies. They don't make these, Mickey Mouse rods and reels that you push the button and kids use. They make the real stuff. And some of the names you mentioned. I know Penn used to be the top, and for a while they kind of, dropped off the edge. But they make some really good equipment now. So anyway, but let's talk about line. You may not produce and design the line, but I know that you have a lot to do with what type of line they manufacture. So can you kind of run down for us what some of the different lines that Berkley makes and what they are?
Sure. Well, Berkley is our largest brand amongst the pure fishing portfolio, and thus Berkley will be everywhere. We will be globally in almost every region in every country. We will also do all things. So we will be in rods and reels and terminal tackle and line. With respect to line, we have a unifilament called Nannyfill. We have Superline, fluorocarbon, monofilament. I believe we do not have fly line. We have Fenwick that does fly line. I think Berkley used to make maybe a fly line back in the day.
They did.
But we basically make any type of line you will find at any retail store in North America.
Mm-hmm.
I got a quick question. IGF record lines, which do they have a fluorocarbon in that by any chance?
I do not think so. There you go. You picked one thing out we don't have.
Oh, you know what? Frank brought something up I'd like to touch on.
Sure.
And that is when you are tournament fishing, is that if it's a major tournament, you have to send them the line that you caught the fish with, and they do a test on it. And if it's in the category of, say, 30 pound, but it checks out at 35 or 40, then you don't get it. So the tournament line, they have to make sure that it does not go over what's specified. Can you explain that?
You mean in regard to IGFA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly different lines for IGFA that fall within a given classification of spec that will meet 30 pound or 10 pound or whatever it may be. And if your line is overrated on that stuff, it probably doesn't qualify. So that's why we don't make a lot of IGFA lines. We do in Stren. Stren does make an IGFA line.
Mm-hmm. And so, but it can't be approximated because if it goes over,
correct,
you don't get it.
Correct. That's correct.
It has to break 3 times at the same pound test.
Mm.
Yeah, so Frank brought up a very good point. So think about it this way. How many anglers really care about IGFA standards and about catching that? There are definitely anglers. I used to work with one named Patrick Sabile. He was a fantastic angler. And he has record after record after record. The problem is the average person wouldn't even know that their line isn't IGFA qualified.
Now, is it a certification, or is it just a line tested after before the award is given?
To be honest with you, I would probably think there's some sort of certification, because we would call that out on the package, and if we call it out on the package, there'd have to be some sort of certification for it. But to be honest, that would probably work as well, because the tournament would want to see the line anyway. So Frank may know.
Yes. Usually, you have to have it weighed at a certain spot that has a certified scale. Then it has to be busted with a certified scale, and it has to be busted 3 times.
Got it.
If I'm saying this right, I could be wrong. It changes ever so often.
Right. So
they dropped the 10-pound test about 6 years ago. My buddy had the record on 10-pound test, but it was no longer, so they gave him the 12-pound test record.
Oh, so because the lines, it's close, but they're approximate. Right. So it says 10 pounds, it could be 9 or it could be 12.
Correct.
No, it can't be 12. It's got to be under.
So I've been saying when you buy it.
Hey, John, if you took Berkley 10-pound XT, that'll break it over 15 pounds. And in some cases, break close to 20 or even higher.
So it's great for you, but not if you're an IGFA. I mean, how many people?
If you're an IGFA guy, you need to find a specific IGFA line for that. But here's the reason. Everybody knows. So think about what Berkley is. Berkley's always trying to make the strongest, thinnest, most sensitive. And if I can give you a 10-pound diameter, so it's going to cast super far, but it's super strong, I mean, that's ultimately what a lot of people want, right? They want to have the ability to cast far. They want to do everything they want, but yet it still has to be strong. That's a lot of reasons why those lines are rated the way they are.
That way, when you're out there 70 feet and you hook a 15-pounder and you've got 10-pound test, you can horse him in, because 80% of the time you've got a little extra strength.
Right. And 10-pound is 10-pound is 10-pound, right? Yeah. 10-pound line, for the most part, is a given diameter, plus or minus a very little. Well, that's always the other thing.
Again, there's very few of us listening that care about that. But, there are people out there that's their livelihood.
Exactly.
And 98% of the people that catch a record, the first thing they do is you tell them it's a record, but it might not make the test. They get a little upset at you.
Yeah.
I've done that twice.
Okay. Well,
but Berkley, I always loved that with the old Jigmaster reels, Penn Jigmaster.
Okay.
I love that reel.
Well, Chris,
it still works fine.
In this, that's right. Anyway, we only got about a minute left. And when we come back, I'd like to talk about line. What type, when do you use it, and how do you use it? Because there's such a plethora. Just in Berkley, the types of lines, and what do you use what for? So anyway, hopefully you can get out your guidebook and be ready for us as soon as we come back. But I suspect you're going to know off the top of your head. But anyway, Chris is, when it comes to fishing line, he's the man. And Berkley, which is owned by Pure Sports, is the umbrella company that owns most of the quality gear and tackle and lines that's sold all over the world.
Correct.
So we're talking to the right guy. Anyway, and is there anything? Well, we've only got about 15 seconds, so we're going to take a break and come back. And then Frank, Obviously, I knew you want to know about fly fishing line, which is not something that Chris gets too involved in, but we'll cover everything. So we'll be right back with you with Fish Hunt Talk Radio. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Passionate sports fishermen who value first-class fishing experiences paired with personalized service and amenities, all-inclusive Salmon Falls Fishing Resort on the Inland Passage reinvents the Ketchikan fishing getaway. Guests enjoy exceptional gourmet cuisine, superior fishing excursions, fully guided charter or self-guided in center console boats accommodating 3 anglers, updated guest rooms and suites, on-site fishing processing to clean, freeze, and pack your catch. Rooms range from log cabin rustic to modern. Our 52 rooms offer the ultimate in comfort after a long day of sightseeing, fishing, and exploring Ketchikan. Non-anglers love Salmon Falls too. Shopping along Creek Street, kayaking, hiking, whale watching, or gathering around our fire pits with a hot beverage, all at prices less than expected. Just pull up Salmon Falls Resort in your search engine.
The East Cape of Baja, Mexico is world famous for sport fishing. Dorado, tuna, wahoo, marlin, sailfish, roosterfish, and pargo. The Van Wormer Resorts make dreams come true at a price all can afford. Hotel Palmas de Cortez, Playa del Sol, and Hotel Punta Colorado have the biggest and best sport fishing fleet in all of Mexico. Call toll-free to 877-777-TUNA to find out how affordable world-class fishing can be. The finest resorts and the best boats in East Cape. Call 877-777-TUNA.
Vagabundos Del Mar Boat and Travel Club has 42 years experience introducing RVers to the joys of Mexico. Specializing in Baja, Vagabundos leads caravans and sponsors fishing tournaments, trailer boat cruises, and weekend getaways in Mexico and the West. Vagabundos Del Mar also saves its 10,000 members tons of money on low-cost auto insurance. Stay up to date on Mexican travel with the printed newsletter online at vagabundos.com or call 800-474-BAJA.
With a long pedigree, the Snow Bee brand today offers the very best equipment modern technology can provide. Started in Europe, Snow Bee is now providing quality fly fishing gear in the USA. Waders, clothing, rods, reels, fly lines, bags, and innovative new accessories. Enjoy your sport and leisure time more than ever. The affordable value of Snow Bee makes it available to everyone. Go to snowbee-usa.com.
A full-service fly shop, His and Her Fly Fishing, offers FFI-certified international fly fishing instructor and guide service with Frank Selby. Listen to Frank as host of FishHuntTalkRadio.com or listen live Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on SiriusXM Radio Channel 211. Custom flies are handmade to your order in-house in Newport Beach. Fishing in Mexico, Belize, Florida, or the Rockies, Frank and the staff will deliver exactly what you need. Flies and gear. Google His and Her Fly Fishing.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan, and we've got our host, Frank Selby, and we have Chris on the line from Berkeley, who's, if there's such thing as a fishing line expert, we've got him on the phone. And, Chris, we've talked about different things in the last segment, but let's concentrate now on fishing line and give us an idea what type of lines there are and what you use them for.
Sure. Well, the main types of lines are monofilament, fluorocarbon, and braid, or superline, as back in the day it was called. Monofilament and fluorocarbons are different types of nylons. Very quickly, a mono and a fluorocarbon, the differences is a monofilament will stretch as soon as you apply force. A fluorocarbon, you need a certain amount of force applied to it before it then starts to stretch. So fluorocarbon is very popular with bass anglers because there's a direct connection, because it also sinks, and the stretch is a little different. It's more sensitive. Okay?
Right. Well, it's also less subject to abrasion, isn't it?
Fluorocarbon does pretty well on abrasion. The fluorocarbon doesn't do well with nicks. So there's a difference of nicking and breaking, and then just generally abrasion resistance. kind of the consistent rub, against a dock post. But monofilament would probably be your easiest, most manageable. I still remember back when I was young watching Bill Dance with Stren Original, setting a hook and him almost falling out of the boat.
Yeah.
Just so much give, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, the fish probably sets the hook more than the angler sets the hook with a monofilament. Mm-hmm. Then you get to braid. Now, braid is the other end of the spectrum, right? You don't want to get that thing, you don't want your finger caught in braid. Mm-hmm. Their braid has no stretch. It has maximum sensitivity, excellent in casting. The problem with braid is it's not clear, and braid does not handle shock. So as you cast and you get your line wrapped around your guides, because that's what will happen with braid sometimes, that shock on the other end, it'll snap that lure, and that lure will go a country mile.
Wow.
That's the difference between braid, fluoro, and mono.
I also understand that mono can absorb moisture where fluoro will not.
True. That's correct. Fluorocarbon was first came out in the 70s by Seagar as a leader material, and it was very stiff. It's again a vibration resistant, so it's great for saltwater, but it's also very clear. And Vanish was the first mainline fluorocarbon made by Berkley that's our number one seller, that anglers love.
Well, the main reason, I guess, to use the fluoro is it's invisible to the fish.
Correct.
So tell us how much of a leader you would recommend for fluorocarbon for a different type of fish.
Sure. Good question. Well, I like braid because I'm an average angler, so I will always tie a fluorocarbon leader on braid. Certainly if I'm fishing under the water, which is most of the time, just because I want to give myself the best opportunity to catch fish. So I will probably tie on. I'll probably start like a 4-foot leader, and that way, if I break off, I've got a little bit more before I have to retie.
Well, the other part of it is fluorocarbon is very expensive. You don't spool a reel with that stuff.
Correct.
But if you do, you got to be really rich.
I mean, look at braid. Braid is anywhere between $15 and $20.
Yeah.
Fluorocarbon is anywhere between now $10 and $20.
Yeah, but you're only getting 25 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, true, very true. So, I'm a believer that it all comes down to how was your first experience with it. First impressions, right? It's with anybody. It could be with Frank. My first impression with Frank is I've always liked him. So I always liked Frank. But if I have a bad experience with fluorocarbon, there's a lot of anglers who won't go back.
Yeah. Well, I know that, let's talk again about microfiber. I went on a sport boat one time. I came on and I had microfiber on the line, and about maybe 8 feet of fluorocarbon on the end. The first thing they did was come down, take my rod and wheel away from me, and put it away because they thought that the microfiber was too dangerous and it would get caught in the other tackle.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, here's the other problem too. Did you have a leader on?
Yeah, about 8 feet of fluorocarbon.
About 8 feet of fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that's the problem is you get braid, right? And even like a Fireline, which is a fused braid, it can cut. And you have to be very careful with very large fish. You don't want to get in between that. You know what I think of, John?
Yeah.
I think of in Jaws 1 where Richard Dreyfuss gets in between the line and Jaws.
Yeah.
And that line, that rope is basically squishing him.
Yeah. Well, that was rope. The other thing is the early, what we call microfiber, was more oval than round. And when you load the reel, I bought some and I had it loaded by a tackle shop. You guys supposed to know what he's doing. So I took it out and I got salmon fishing. And, when I got it on and I got to the, past the leader, and it wouldn't come off the reel. What happens is it dug in, and there's no way you could undo it.
Right.
Because it stacks up, and then it knots up, and it wouldn't come off the reel. I lost.
You should try our new Berkley X5 and X9. Those are super lines with a core, makes it more round.
Well, we'll talk about that also. But it was, it just that was one of the biggest problems with it. Even if you wind it tight, it wasn't tight enough because it would still stack up on itself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
one of the things when you do hook a fish, you have to pull it out. Make sure that after you release the fish, because you will lose a lure, or you will have a bird's nest if you don't. Right?
Yeah, and you don't want to get it in that.
No,
you can't even cut it. Anyway, you mentioned hollow core. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Sure.
First of all, what are some of the advantages?
Hollow core is first of all, it's going to be a lower diameter than monofilament. So although it's more expensive, I would get it professionally spooled on your reel, and they will put a lot of tension on, which you cannot do at home. They will put the maximum amount of braid on your reel. Thus, you have a lot of leeway, right? You're going to have, especially if you're trolling. What you do then is you add a top shot, anywhere between 30 and 70 yards of a mono top shot.
Oh.
And what they do is they will feed the monofilament up through the hollow core, and they'll pull it out of the hollow core, and then what they'll do is they'll have a tag end of the braid on the other end where you have the top shot, and they'll wrap that with a given knot. I think you can look it up. It's a hitch knot or something. But anyway, you basically will suck that mono back in like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah,
and then
like
you tie it off. So there's a seamless knot.
So as you pull on it, it just the cord tightens up, and that way it doesn't break. There's no knots.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm going to take some of that to Mexico. But, so I need to learn how to use it.
It's awesome stuff, but it's important you get it professionally spooled because it's amazing the amount of tension they put on it to maximize the line, but also so you have less dig-ins.
Yeah. Right.
You don't want, the looser you spool braid, the worse problem you're going to have.
Right. Yeah, especially braid, but all of them the same way. But anyway, we're getting close on time. There's more we want to cover. Okay, we talked about hollow core, microfiber, mono. I guess those are the three basics.
Right.
And is there anything else? And when do you use which?
Of which ones again?
Well, we talked about mono,
sure,
fluorocarbon, and hollow core, and we didn't talk too much just about the micro braid itself. So,
sure.
Let's kind of go over it. When do you use which?
Okay. Yeah, if it really comes down to if you're on a boat, they're going to be picking the line for you. I know that if I'm deep sea fishing, I'm 100 feet down, a lot of those guys are going to be putting straight mono on, one for cost, two because there's definitely some give with mono, and with deep sea fishing, you're reeling, you're not really setting a hook. If you're doing a lot of offshore trolling and you need line capacity, they're going to put hollow core on and then top shot it. If I'm just a general angler and I'm inshore fishing, bass fishing, and or all the way down to trout, you could use a mainline fluoro. You could use a mono, but to be honest with you, I'm going to probably be using, I think the number one pound test for inshore is like 15-pound braid. And it's a low diameter, it casts far, but yet it's super strong.
And so... of course, bass anglers use a lot of braid because you get an instant quick set and you can throw it farther.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Of course, we're not talking about cost either. We're just talking about some of them. But so it sounds like mono is still pretty much the go-to.
Well, mono certainly, as much as I know, and I'm not saying I know a whole heck of a lot, but just because I'm in the fishing tackle industry, we are in the know on everything coming out. But you talk to folks that you go on a fishing trip with, they're still using their rod from 82 with mono still on it. Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes it's good enough. And
real
it works
quickly,
just fine.
we got to go. Real quickly, what's the life of line? Mono, fluoro, and microfiber. How long do they last? Under what circumstances?
Microfiber will last forever. Mono and fluoro you should keep in a cool, dry place. We put UV inhibitors in our line so the UV light, the sunlight, doesn't affect it.
Okay, so it's in the sun.
Mono would be probably
or even
a little
fluorescent lights, I understand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to keep it, you want to have it in the sunlight. But most line will last probably longer than the angler will.
All right. Well, we had you on for 2 segments, Chris, and we still haven't finished. So we'll bring you back, and I'll let you know when I get back from Mexico. Appreciate it very much. And you've just been a fountain of knowledge. Thank you very much. You are listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio. Go to the website, listen to this show as many times as you want, usually within the next day or two. We'll be right back with you. So thanks again, Chris.
Road stretches for miles in front of you, and with the Ram 1500, you'll be able to reach mile after open mile. It gets a best-in-class 25 miles per gallon highway, so your destination won't just be determined by your gas gauge, but by your gauge for achievement. And the Ram 1500 is the first ever back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Guts, glory, Ram. See your local Ram dealer today for great deals. EPA estimated 25 mpg highway based on V6 4x2.
A full-service fly shop, His and Her Fly Fishing, offers FFI certified international fly fishing instructor and guide service with Frank Selby. Listen to Frank as host of FishHuntTalkRadio.com or listen live Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Sirius XM Radio Channel 211. Custom flies are handmade to your order in-house in Newport Beach. Fishing in Mexico, Belize, Florida, or the Rockies, Frank and the staff will deliver exactly what you need. Flies and gear. Google His and Her Fly Fishing. The Soft Science footbed absorbs the shock of pounding waves, engine vibration, and even rocky terrain. Soft Science shoes are roomy and relaxed, and they drain and dry quickly. Check out the Soft Science Fin fishing shoes and boots and the Fin H2O for kayaking and canoeing. They're lightweight, slip-resistant, and won't mark your deck. See the new styles for men and women and get your pair on at softscience.com. Alaskan RV Butler. Guiding, fishing, hiking, sightseeing, adventure. The Alaskan RV Butler. Like a cruise on wheels in the comfort of an RV. View the wonders of Alaskan interior, streams, ocean, and wildlife. Or fish for the big one, all while pampered by Mike, the Alaskan RV Butler. Mike's inclusive tours serve butter-drenched shellfish and mouth-watering steaks. Mike is your personal chef, chauffeur, guide, and planner. And for the real Alaska, contact MikeRVButler at gmail.com. That's MikeRVButler at gmail.com.
It's time for you to take a real fun adventure. Join a hosted fishing adventure to Alaska or Baja with the staff of Fish Talk Radio. Real Fun Adventures can book you on any adventure you desire. Bring your fishing friends or meet new ones. Fish Talk Radio gets the best deals from our sponsors to give you the best possible price. Real Fun trips are inclusive, easy, no-worry packages to the most popular fish grounds. Trips start around $600. Go to REELFunadventures.com.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan, and you are listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio, along with our host, Frank Selby. And we've got someone that had kind of an interesting concept, been on before. We have Lenny, and Lenny's put together something very interesting. It's an online fishing tournament. Now, Lenny, can you explain how that works?
Absolutely. How are you, John? Hey, Frank. How you doing?
Better.
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. I'm actually in Pennsylvania. Done my traveling with promoting our event last week. We had it last Saturday, September 21st, and it was awesome. We had a bunch of fishermen from all over the country participate in a 4-hour of who can catch the most bass, whether they're using artificial live bait, if they're on a boat, kayak, on the shore, fly fishing. It was really cool.
So the whole tournament was just a 4-hour situation. Now, do you pick the time or do they pick the time?
So online they do a pre-fish form, and they fill out what they're going to be doing. They have a time frame between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., and they pick their 4-hour slot, 4 consecutive hour slot. What's really unique about this, to validate that they're catching these fish that day, is they have to buy a newspaper that had to state September 21st and take a selfie photo. And then everything gets time-stamped. Then when they're done their 4 hours, all their fish that they have taken selfie photos with the newspaper, they submit it in their catch report, and then they wait and see who won their division.
Well, tell us about how it went.
So we had 219 participants, which we were really stoked about. We had categories from, live bait, artificials, fly, and the overall grand prize winner came from South Florida, Michael Rene. He was on a boat, artificial use, and he wound up catching 15 largemouth bass. So it was really exciting to see all those photos. And what was a really cool barn burner was that there was a gentleman by the name of Derek who caught 15 fish as well. So he tied. But in the rules, it states whoever catches their last fish in the shortest period of time in their 4 hours wins. That's the tiebreaker. So Michael beat him out by, I think it was like 20 minutes, 20-some minutes. So it was close.
Yeah. Wow.
And, it was really cool.
Is there a size limit to the fish?
No, there's no length, no weight. It's just quantity. So we don't have to deal with a scale or a measuring tool. It's just catch and release as many bass as you can in a 4-hour period. And we're so excited to announce our next event, which will be in 2020, April 25th.
Get ready and pick where you're going to be fishing.
There you go. But we have some amazing sponsors that got involved, and one just last minute got involved. Can I mention a name?
Sure, go ahead.
So Yozuri came on board, and they were gracious enough to give me some lures I do a Beach Chef Lenny challenge. So if anyone wants to challenge me in any kind of species, whoever loses donates to Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Oh, by the way,
win-win situation.
Some of your buy-in money goes to charity. Can you explain that?
I'm sorry?
I believe some of the money you collect goes to charity.
Yes, so Multiple Sclerosis Society. It's very close to my heart, and the Beach Chef Lenny challenges are so unique that we determine where we're going to fish, what we're going to fish, and whoever loses, we determine what we want to donate to Multiple Sclerosis Society. And 100% goes to their foundation, and they're very, very pleased. As a matter of fact, the national chapter did a nice little video on how well we're doing. And I think we're like 90th in participating events out of almost 900 events.
Wow. Well, now, how many tournaments do you put on in a year right now? I know you're pretty new at this.
Yes. So we ran one for the veterans, which I'm going to be doing, and that's on the smaller scale, and that's more local, which will be down in Juneau, Florida, in this winter, sometime January.
Whoa.
And then our two main ones will be in the fall and spring.
Well, Juneau, I'm trying to think that's inland, isn't it?
No, Juneau, that's the East Coast. Beautiful pier there.
Oh, I see.
And we get the veterans out there to do a catch and cook. So whatever they catch, I go to one of the posts, VFW posts, and prepare some fresh fish.
What type of fish is that? Just whatever you catch?
They get snappers and what have you, and that's just a tasting. But I do order some fish because I want to make sure everyone gets fed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. What an interesting idea. Well, people can fish a real bona fide tournament, and I'm sure there's some professionals and some very ranked beginners that can all compete.
It's so awesome, and to hear the comments that, wow, we had our kids get off the Xboxes and into the tackle box. They had so much fun and just couldn't wait to get, I do social media with Facebook for Real Time USA and Instagram, and it's been a treat. It really has. I'm very, very pleased and happy, and I just do a lot of traveling, and from what I've learned, there's over 33 million registered bass fishermen in the United States alone.
Really?
It's amazing. It's staggering numbers.
Well, there's no such thing as a registered bass fisherman, so that's people that have license that fish for bass,
Yes.
or how do you know?
Exactly. You have to have a license to fish for bass. Mm-hmm. So there's over 33 million of those, if you want to call registered licensed bass fishermen. And what's unique about it is you don't have to be a professional to fish them.
Yeah, just get lucky one day. Well, it's a 4-hour period.
You know the old saying.
Well, even the best.
You'd rather be lucky.
Yeah, better lucky than good.
Rather be lucky and sure.
Yeah,
that's it. But the weather was a little affected by some participants due to the horrific storms we've had.
Well, do people travel distances to compete in this, or do they just go to their closest water?
Gosh, they could go to any honey hole, any local lake, river, stream. That's what's so unique about this, and you validate it by buying that newspaper. And there's obviously an honor system, so there's no cash prize. It's an amazing gift prize, and it's all on our website, Real Time USA.
Mm-hmm.
And the grand prize has a 2-night stay, 1 guided fishing day, and food galore from Good Place Farms in Lexington, Virginia, which is an outstanding place.
Mm-hmm.
I was just there last week.
All right, well, we'll have to work on what we can get for you for that.
Oh, that would be cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
And what is the cost to buy into one of these tournaments?
So it varies from kids to teens, $10, veterans $15, and adults $20. And along the way, I do special discounted rates. I do giveaways. So it's going to be a lot of fun for the next 6 months promoting this and doing my Beach Chef Lenny challenges, getting the word out, and going door to door, lake to lake, pond to pond. I absolutely love the scenery where I go to. It's incredible.
And how many people did you say you had? How many? 200 and some participants?
219 for this one, and we're just going to go for the moon. We love to see 1 million participants in this in 5 years. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so amazing. The whole country can be involved for 4 hours. They're 4 hours.
Right. Okay.
So it's been awesome. Awesome. And I really appreciate you getting me on a radio talk show. And
well, it's different. We like to get something that's interesting and people can enjoy. And I really like the idea of put down the Xbox and pick up the tackle box.
That's pretty cool. And the kids love it. You know what? They're still interacting a little bit with the phone because they have to submit the photos and what have you. But it's just getting out there in the outdoors and enjoying it and making memories.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, that's, it's what you're talking about, the prizes. It's, you're not cranking in, thousands of dollars.
No.
So it's,
right.
It's a labor of love.
Absolutely. I really enjoy this, and I'm just going to do this until I can't do it no more. So I'm just pushing this as hard as I can.
Well, the nice thing is there's no limit to how many people you can have.
That's what's really amazing about it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And to raise awareness and funds for Multiple Sclerosis Society, I'm very pleased in how it's going. And for next year, we're actually planning a little bigger venue where we're going to have a local lake involved, where we're going to get participants that unfortunately have the MS to partake in a local lake, getting some boats involved and the community involved, and making something really special. Maybe even turn into a concert.
Oh, okay.
And get a country singer.
There you go.
If you need a little extra help, I'll fly wherever it is and help.
There you go.
Hey, that sounds fantastic.
All right.
I'll take you up on that, Frank.
Well, Frank, you said it's everywhere.
Don't forget, if I say I'll do something, you can ask anybody that ever knew me. I'll do it. Unless I'm dead.
I really appreciate that, Frank. That's awesome.
That's always an issue, but I think you'll last that long. What was the other question?
So we're looking for sponsorship. We have sponsorship opportunities. This takes a lot of money to keep going and traveling and all that stuff. But that would be awesome to get any kind of support. I'd be greatly appreciated. Mm-hmm. And I do my part to get their company.
Well, Lenny, let's go real quick. Your website is easy. So what is that?
Reel, like the fishing reel, REEL, Real Time USA.
Yeah, Real Time USA is the website.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And that'll be on our web for 6 months.
There you go. We'll help you out.
That was awesome. And then we'll have all the updates. Actually, the web designer right now is uploading all the photos for the winners last week,
right.
And then we'll be putting our new information up
all
there
right,
as well.
There. It looks like they're catching us to get out of here. Lenny, we appreciate what you're doing, and we'll be in touch. And good luck on that. You are listening to Fish Hunt Talk Radio with John Hennigan, Frank, and you can listen to us on the web anytime you want. Fish Hunt Talk Radio or fishtalkradio.com.
A few years ago, a sailor set out to design a boat shoe that was comfortable and stable, non-skid, and wouldn't mark the decks. Today, these incredibly comfortable shoes are worn by anglers, boaters, professional guides, and charter captains. Go to softscience.com to see more. Soft Science shoes and boots are lightweight and shock absorbent with just the right level of support. Several styles come in all sizes. Enjoy the Soft Science shoe in the water and out. Check them out at softscience.com. Used by fishermen who know where to get the best fishing gear around, AFTCO makes the highest quality fishing rod components worldwide. If it says AFTCO, you know you have a quality rod. Guy Harvey Clothing, the best outdoor clothing line anywhere, is also available through AFTCO. Longest lasting, functional, and best looking clothing you'll be proud to wear. Only the very best materials and workmanship. As soon as you put it on, you'll know the difference. Look for AFTCO at quality retailers or go to aftco.com. Fish on!
It's a big one.
For passionate sports fishermen who value first-class fishing experiences paired with personalized service and amenities, all-inclusive Salmon Falls Fishing Resort on the Inland Passage reinvents the Ketchikan fishing getaway. Guests enjoy exceptional gourmet cuisine, superior fishing excursions, fully guided charter or self-guided in center console boats accommodating 3 anglers, updated guest rooms and suites, on-site fishing processing to clean, freeze, and pack your catch. Rooms range from log cabin rustic to modern. Our 52 rooms offer the ultimate in comfort after a long day of sightseeing, fishing, and exploring Ketchikan. Non-anglers love Salmon Falls too. Shopping along Creek Street, kayaking, hiking, whale watching, or gathering around our fire pits with a hot beverage, all at prices less than expected. Just pull up Salmon Falls Resort in your search engine.
Yeah, I can catch them shallow, I can catch them deep. Muddy water or the back of the creek. Wind and rain to me, it's all the same. I make a living playing this game, and I thank the Lord above every time I can. I get to be a fisherman. Yeah, I'm a fisherman.
Welcome back to Fish Talk Hunt Radio with John Hennigan.
This is John Hennigan, and we have Frank Selby with us, of course. And Frank, wow, time goes so fast, but that was fun.
That was excellent.
And, you know, one of the things, you mentioned that you had like 6 people come in from Canada that listened to us up there.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult for us because nobody has facts and figures. Like Sirius XM Radio, they don't keep track of how many people listen. And it's important for us to know for a couple of reasons. We have to give some credibility to our sponsors, and we just need to know ourselves where they are and what you want. I mentioned it before, but we do hosted trips that are way less than what you could do if you did it on your own. You know, we just got back from Alaska, but, you know, we've done trips to Costa Rica. You know, every year we go to Alaska, you go to Cabo, and if there's something on your bucket list, let us know. You might be surprised what we can do for you. Chances are we'll put a trip together, but if not, I'll set you up.
Yeah, you do a good job of that, John. You really do.
Well, you know, it can be a lot of work. But
yeah, I know.
Fun. But people don't realize what it takes. Because people, you know, like this Alaska trip, you know, we had a decent turnout, but man, I had more people than I thought we could handle. And then it was one of those things where, okay, where's the deposit? Oh, well, my dog's pregnant. I don't know if I can go. Or my sister-in-law's nephew is graduating from college. Or, I go, look, just do what you say you're going to do. If you don't want to do it, fine. But, if we just need to know and let us know where you want to go. We're putting a trip together to Alaska this year, probably in the middle of July. But that depends a lot on what time people want to go. I haven't made the time yet, but people need sometimes a year's notice, to get their vacation time or whatever it is they need to do.
Yeah.
Call from +1 609-377-0529.
Oh, sorry about that. Get out of here. Call you back. Bye. Anyway, gosh, my voice is running out. But that's because I'm having so much fun. And we've got, we're getting down there. We've still got about a minute or so. So, Frank, we need to get people to get in touch with us. If you just take the trouble to send an email, I got a box full of tackle and things, and I'll fix you up if you just let us know and what kind of fishing you do. We'll send you something, and we just need to track on who's there and how you listen to us. Because we're on broadcast radio, about 50 stations. We're on all over the internet stations, and then of course Sirius XM. So, but we need to know where you listen, what type of fishing you do, and if there's anything we can do for you. And if you just send me an email, it's easy. Just send it to John at Fish Talk Radio. 3 words. Yeah. Send it to John at fishtalkradio.com. And it's sometimes time is a problem, but I'll take care of you.
Yeah, all them boys out there at the military bases, they could send us something and let us know.
Oh, that's right. We're also on American Radio, which is on, I think, 60 broadcast stations in 160 countries. So we're out there. Just let us know where you are.
It would be well appreciated if you will.
Yeah. But this is fun. But we just need to track it down. We got, we need to give our sponsors some credibility so they'll keep us on the air. And anyway, Frank, it's about time to go. Why don't I give you 30 seconds to do whatever you want to do?
Yeah. One more final question for everybody. If you like our show and you want to know something about something, give John or me, drop us an email. John's email is real easy. Mine's real easy. It's sbbfly@aol.com.
sbbfly@aol.com. Yeah. And then John is real easy. 3 words, fishtalkradio.com. John at fishtalkradio.com. It's so simple. We'd love to hear from you. All right, Frank, that's wrapping it up. Appreciate it. Go to the website. We're right on the front page. You can listen as many times as you want. fishtalkradio.com. Thanks, Frank.